welcome back to the end of another week. We're down in the plant alley, and unfortunately there's not much to say for this week. I took some blood work for my diabetes and they checked my bilirubin levels, and thankfully they're going down. They're still not normal, they're still elevated, but at least they're lower than they had been previously. So I'm going to take that as a win. I've been working on tiny projects, so I finally got around to plumbing the bottom of my garden sink here. So now it actually excavates down into the watering can. So if I turn it on, we actually have water. I have new drain things, and they all go and get captured in the watering can, and then I can just take the watering can and give the water to the plants. I redid the crocus border here, saffron crocus. So something had been digging it up, and you can see like it's still digging it up. But I went ahead and like tilled it, put some new compost on, planted the crocus along this front ridge. And then along the back ridge, I'm planning on putting some daylilies. And in the middle, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to plant, but I'm going to plant something. In the vein of plumbing, which I hate doing, I did more plumbing here. So my main plumbing source, my main water source is over on that side of the house, and there's a bunch of hoses that go other places. But one of the hoses comes here, and now I actually have it going into this quad, where the second one goes to my sink. This first one will end up plugging into this piece here and going to my dog waterer. And these other two will stay open for a hose and probably a drip irrigation system, which will end up feeding into this flower bed area right here. So those are coming, but hopefully they will happen fairly soon. And if I come down here, that's the dog waterer. So basically it's hooked up to this pipe that goes to that thing that I just showed you, and there's a float valve, so it'll fill up with water, and then as soon as it shuts off, that'll be it. But then as Benji drinks it, it'll just refill automatically. So that'll be super cool, I think, for him at least. I got to weeding more of the orchard. So if I come down here, there's a lot of intentional plants like the Bocking 14 and raspberries and more Bocking 14, but there's also a lot of weeds. So I've been trying to like maintain this. And the idea eventually is that I'm actually going to extend this even further, and at the very end, I have a bay leaf tree growing in my alley that I'm going to transplant at the end of the orchard. The strawberry patch is doing great. In the garden, I still need to finish this section, but I did manage to refill the onion bed, which needs to be refilled again because I'm kind of letting it settle. But similar to these, like I fill them to the top and then they settle. And then you have to like take the straw off, refill them, let them settle again. It's sort of a never-ending task. But I'm working on this. I need to finish this, which is basically breaking up all of these big chunks, putting more layers of compost on the top, and then topping it with straw. I've been working on, well, I will need to harvest more tomatoes. This weekend, his stepdad turned 81, so we've been celebrating that. And his sister brought like a tomato tapenade that we really liked. So we're gonna harvest a bunch of these tomatoes and try to recreate the tapenade. The peas and beans, I've been picking off the yellow ones, which aren't edible, but I can save them for seeds. And then these I still need to salvage for seeds. I did get around to salvaging all of my fava bean seeds. So those are the plants that I pulled up from in here. And these are the pods that I need to actually salvage seeds from. But those are the fava beans that I'll plant for next year. And then I have more beans that are coming in here. And I did actually plant another succession of beans here, which will come in a couple of weeks. The contractor for the driveway, unfortunately, is completely missing in action. So the driveway hasn't started. I have no idea if or when it's going to start. We're sort of just in limbo there. Chickens are doing their thing. They like it when I clean up the garden because yeah, I give them the stuff that I pull up from the garden, and then they leave all the rejects that they don't want to eat. But they get very well fed right now with all the stuff that's coming up from the garden. Unfortunately, it's starting to rain. We have the weather system coming in. I was hoping to avoid the rain, but it started early. So I'm going to cut this short. Things to come are just more cleaning up. We may or may not have the driveway starting. And hopefully I'll get finished with all the irrigation plans for this area. But yeah, that is it for now because I don't like getting wet. So I hope you had a good one, and I will see you next week. Bye.